Having a particularly designated year by the EU for social inclusion and poverty helps focus everybody on dealing with the issues.
The issue of social inclusion is an important issue on the agenda of this council, an important issue on the agenda of local elected councillors.
Having a social inclusion unit is critical to combating poverty and social exclusion at a local level. It's not so much about providing money or resources, but it's raising the awareness both internally and externally, which raises on the agenda for resources to be found to tackle those issues.
Some of the work I think we're most proud of over 2010 would be the awareness raising we've been carrying out amongst staff and elected members. We'd issue poverty fact sheets for staff. Each fact sheet would address a different target group.
We've actually produced a handbook on social inclusion itself. For the seminars, we've produced documentation and references of various people for contact points so that people have more information about who to contact.
The biggest highlight for me this year has been Social Inclusion Week 2010.
As part of the European Year for Combating Poverty and Social Exclusion, we worked with a number of groups and agencies around the county to highlight social exclusion issues and poverty issues.
During Social Inclusion Week, we supported a number of projects and initiatives that happened out in our branch libraries. We had a number of storytelling sessions here in our Oranmore Library. We also had an inclusive theatre show for school children from the local area. So again, it was a great way of us developing and supporting initiatives at a local level.
We produced a programme of events in both English and Irish to promote the 55 events that took place around the county. We were also able to provide a small amount of funding to some groups to hold their activities and events.
I feel that I'm not part of what's going on in the world because I don't have computer skills, and that is why I've decided that I'd better do something about it.
I'm learning to do emails, to search, to find things out, but once you get comfortable, the more you learn, the easier it gets.
We all have the right to be out and about and to enjoy life. Learning to use a computer is a means to an end.
Working in the area of social inclusion means working with people affected by social exclusion.
They're not very vocal in society, they don't speak out for themselves.
We go out into the wider community, we meet the people, and we find that by meeting people in their own locality, within their community, they're more inclined to talk about the real issues that are concerned with themselves and their community.
We've also worked with the traveller community, and this is a community that is particularly disadvantaged. It's one of the most excluded groups and one of the groups that experiences perhaps the most discrimination. And we have initiated projects with them. One of the things they told us was that they would like to generate more positive publicity because there tends to be a lot of negative stereotyping in the press, and we were able to do that, supporting them themselves to tell their own stories.
This was the first thing for the travelling people in Cavan, and we really enjoy coming here because we know a lot more now than we did then.
When I never had the opportunity to learn to read or write, I said, here goes, I'm going to start.
It's a great opportunity for me as an older person to come in and to find out about healthcare and read and write. And even though I know how to read and write, but I'm not a very good, not a very tidy writer or whatever.
In October, here in Fettercairn Community Centre, we ran a World Cafe Inclusion. It gave people an opportunity to discuss things in an informal and relaxed setting, what was important in their community here in Fettercairn and what they wanted from South Dublin County Councils and the service providers. But it also gave them a chance to have a discussion and to look at the steps that they, as well as a community, can do in practical terms.
We have started to develop a very strong research base, and this is a very useful tool for the entire council. We work with all the sections of the council trying to improve their understanding of social inclusion. So, for instance, we've developed a poverty profile for the county using census statistical data, and with this sort of information we're able to show where there are pockets of deprivation, where disadvantage is concentrated, and try and focus services on improving improving their availability and their accessibility to communities who are at risk of exclusion.
One of the things that the unit developed was a step-by-step guide to making a submission.
We produced it in a short booklet format with the support of our local traveller organisation. We also produced a DVD produced and designed by the travellers.
And that has supported community groups in having an understanding of how to voice their opinions, but say it in a way that everybody understands and it's to the point.
Having a social inclusion unit here in the council makes me and my colleagues within the council more aware. And once you're aware of something, you look out for it, and then you make sure that nobody is left on the outside, and you just work with them.
The unit has been very active in encouraging more involvement by individuals and groups in their local community and in local decision making. The unit has also been successful in identifying and targeting additional resources for disadvantaged groups in the community.
Having a social inclusion unit in Galway County Council has helped to embed the concept of social inclusion in the council's various plans and policies.
Having a social inclusion unit in Dublin City Council helped enormously in dealing and tackling with the issues of social exclusion by providing a bridge between the representative bodies for excluded groups and the staff.
Having a social inclusion unit this year, particularly where we're looking at a complete focus, a national focus, was we could build on all of the work that we've been doing in the last number of years. We could actually take the projects which worked well and enhance them.